Pillar, a structure or part that provides support and resembles a column or pillar. One who occupies a central or responsible position, a pillar of the state. If there was ever a word to describe Anderson Coach and Travel, that word would be pillar. The company is known as a pillar within the motor coach tour and transportation industry and has been a fixture within the Greenville community for many, many years. And so, the legacy begins. During the fall of 1937, a young 20-year-old schoolteacher, Dorotha Elder, would meet the man of her life on her very first day of teaching at a one-room schoolhouse near Mercer, PA. It was also on that first day that a young Orville Dwayne Anderson, or OD as he was known by everyone, started a new transportation business venture of his own. OD started the business based on the need to transport his younger brother, Sam, from their farm to Stonepile School 5 to 6 miles away. After converting an old panel truck he purchased earlier in the summer to a school bus, OD started transporting students to that very same one-room schoolhouse where Dot was teaching. Having completed the first part of his daily run, he needed to ask the schoolteacher what time classes would be dismissed for the day. It is said that he fell in love on his first bus trip. Within 2 years, OD would be selling bus trips to Pittsburgh, visiting area highlights such as Carnegie Museum, H.J. Heinz Company, and the Planetarium, as well as baseball trips to Cleveland. Also during this time, OD would purchase a new Studebaker to transport students to Mercer area schools. His first 2 school buses would soon follow as he began servicing West Salem Township school routes, the predecessor to Reynolds School District. June 1940 came, and with it, the marriage of Dorotha Elder and O.D. Anderson. Thus began one of the strongest partnerships in the history of the motor coach transportation industry. With O.D. behind the wheel, Dot's teaching career would be short-lived as she would move into the office to handle all the behind-the-scenes work, handling everything from bookkeeping and tour planning to answering the telephone, charting bus routes, and dispatching drivers. Through the early years, the two would venture into many businesses, including trucking, farm machinery, steel buildings, and car sales. The young Andersons were entrepreneurial pace-setters, like pioneers in a new terrain, laying the foundation for the Anderson Coach and Travel of today. One of the early memories included O.D. transporting the Cochraton High School senior class of 1941 to Washington, D.C. During this time, 4 children were raised and a home maintained. In October of 1941, the first of Dot and O.D.'s children, Karen Lee, was born. 3 years later, their first son, Lyle Elder, was born. In 1948, Dot and O.D. purchased their first motor coach, a brand new 1948 GMC, for a staggering cost of $13,000. This coach would serve as the foundation for a motor coach company that has spanned decades. This same year, a need to service West Salem busing contracts would prompt the Andersons to move from their home in Mercer, PA, to the company's present-day location on Conneaut Lake Road in Greenville. A second daughter and future company vice president, Sue Ann, would be born during this busy year. 10 years later, in 1957, the Andersons make a total commitment to the bus industry when they sell all other businesses to focus on Anderson Bus and Tour. In June of this year, the 4th and final child, Douglas Dwayne, was born. Dot and O.D. made sure the business was family-oriented. The two would instill an unmatched work ethic in their children. The children were a part of the company at a very early age, learning to clean coaches, answer phones, and work around the office before they could tie shoes. Although he loved to be behind the wheel, O.D. also studied information tirelessly, becoming one of the most knowledgeable individuals on American history in the travel industry. As the business grew, O.D. would hire 2 drivers who have had a very long employment history with the company. Laverne Taylor and Jim Barrows, employees since 1957, have together driven over an astonishing 3 million miles. What follows are excerpts from a present-day interview with these dedicated Anderson coach operators.
I've known the Andersons for almost 48 years, and they've been a great part of my life. They were such an honest company, an honest couple. They helped me in many ways for many years. And of course, I helped them a lot too, not only by driving, but by babysitting for the family. And they've just been a real inspiration to my life for the past 48 years.
Two wonderful people. They are hard workers and was really dedicated to the company to get business going. They were real good with their employees, and you couldn't ask for better people to work for. There's been lots of nights that I've come in late at night and gone into the house and wake Dot up to come out and clean the buses and get ready to go on the next trip. And she always come down and done all the work in there. She was the go-getter in the office, and OD did all the PR work.
A fond memory of the Anderson family was when Mr. Anderson came to my house and asked me to be this driver to go to Alaska for 30 days. He was really not up to driving it, and the family told him to point to one of the drivers in the outfit, and he pointed to me, and I had the pleasure of being with him and being his driver. He was my tour guide for 30 days going to Alaska and back. A very fond memory. I'll never forget it.
A self-made man, O.D. was always at the forefront of the industry, pioneering the first trip to Alaska in 1966. This extended bus trip traveled all 1,521 miles of the Alaskan Highway. At that time, a great deal of this route was a dirt road. Over the course of the next decade, their sons started to help run operations, with Lyle coming on board fully in 1970 and Doug in 1980. The company would purchase 3 brand new GMC motor coaches in 1980. In 1987, the company celebrates 50 years of service. It adds 4 new state-of-the-art coaches in its new black and gold color scheme. O.D. was quoted as saying, "I'm just as enthused right now as I was 50 years ago. I like people. I like taking them places. There are so many nice places to go." The company computerizes its tour department to help process and expedite customer service and increases its retail tour offerings. 3 years later, further growth would prompt the company to break ground for a new expanded office complex at the same Conneaut Lake Road location. Unfortunately, O.D. would never see its completion, as he passed away in October of 1990. This zealous patriot, father, and successful businessman would leave behind a legacy of honesty and integrity. In 1991, youngest son Doug Anderson is named company president. In 1993, the company continues to improve its fleet of motor coaches by adding 6 larger and newly configured coaches that seat 55 passengers. 1 year later, the state of Pennsylvania would dedicate the junction of I-79 and I-80 in Mercer County as the O.D. Anderson Interchange in honor of this stellar entrepreneur's career. In the mid-1990s, Anderson Bus and Tour would change its name to Anderson Coach and Tour to reflect changes within the industry. A new logo was also developed, featuring a compass centered with the trademarked Anderson A. In 1997, Anderson Coach and Tour celebrates 60 years in business and has its first presence on the information superhighway, the Internet. The company's first website was launched. Soon, the company would accept its largest delivery of 10 brand new Prevost motor coaches. These coaches feature a new graphic design incorporating a new logo in red, orange, and yellow on a metallic black background. As Anderson Coach and Tour fast forwards into the new millennium, the company flourishes under the leadership of Doug Anderson, president, Sue Anderson Nicklin, Vice President, and company co-founder Dot Anderson. In June of 1999, the company recognizes the need for an improved service facility and breaks ground for a new state-of-the-art garage and maintenance facility. Early in the new millennium, the company undergoes a name change to Anderson Coach and Travel, redesigns its corporate website, and changes the address to goanderson.com. A new logo is also developed. In December 2004, Anderson Coach and Travel accepts delivery of 3 new Prevost motor coaches at a cost of over $400,000 each. Another new Prevost arrives in 2005. Anderson Coach and Travel has been a prominent family and business fixture in the eastern Ohio and western Pennsylvania areas, and in particular, Greenville, PA, for the past 7 decades, providing retail tours, charter coach service, group tours, and school bus services. Anderson Coach has provided jobs for hundreds of area residents, along with exciting travel opportunities.